Okay, peace and blessings, Sister Marilyn. Glad to be here with you. In fact, very grateful that we are doing this together. Um, and today, the topic is true happiness. Something which I'm sure most people look for. Um, or may I say,
Maybe,
most people chase.
yes, maybe look for in all the wrong places. I don't know.
Right, isn't it?
And maybe there's something very personal here. I don't know.
Yes, yes. So why don't we begin? When you hear the word true happiness, not just happiness, true happiness, what comes to your mind?
Well, when we introduced the topic just before the video, I was thinking that it's a verse of the Quran that came to me. It's marliya, is the pleasure of God. That's what it means. And so that's what came to me first. For me, this is what
Pleasure of God.
happiness is about. And we don't always, when I said earlier we're looking for it maybe in all the wrong places, um, maybe because we don't see this in our life. Sometimes we miss it.
Hmm.
This sense of, there are many words, I think, uh, in Islam that could relate to true happiness. But for everybody, this is for everybody. This sense of a sense of inner peace, sakina, you could say in Arabic, a sense of uh, satisfaction, inner satisfaction. But yeah, it sounds like it all comes from within, doesn't
Hmm.
it?
Hmm. So tell me more. When you said the verse of the Quran, when you quoted the verse of the Quran, and you mentioned something like true happiness is about, the way I heard it, I didn't hear it very clearly. The way I heard it is it's it's something to do with a connection with God, something like that. I heard you say. Can you say more about that?
Sure. Um, Sometimes yeah, we think we're leading our own lives, that we decide everything, that everything is in our hands, including uh, our happiness that is fully in our hands. And here I think there's a subtlety because you can say this. It's more an I would say it's more an inclination because at the end of the day you don't decide the your environment necessarily. You don't decide the situations you are in your life. You don't decide, you know. Of course, if you have children, you're going to raise them the best you can, but they are their own person as well. They are their own people. They're going to make their own decisions, and earlier than you think sometimes. It is things like that they are not as we've described in
Hmm.
our other
Hmm.
videos.
Tell me
uh,
if this is what you're saying,
Not in our
Ismail.
hands.
I think what I'm hearing you say is we look for it outside,
Yes,
okay, in situations, ideal situations, what we think ideal situations are.
exactly.
Things have to be in certain way in my life, with my children, with my career, with my health, with my money situation, etc., etc. If it is in this way, I'm going to feel happy. If it's not in this way, I'm not going to feel happy. So this common misunderstanding that my happiness is is dependent on life situations, outcomes, results, so to speak. What I'm hearing you say is that's not how it works.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm,
In fact,
right.
another word I think that comes from our Islamic background is al-nafs al-mutma'inna. This is the nafs that is content, that
Mm.
is happy with what it is given. So nafs is like the your soul, it's your inner self when
Yes.
it's in
That's
a
the word which
state.
came up for me. Yes, the inner self is contented. It's feeling
Exactly.
contented. Yeah.
Yes.
It's feeling satisfied. Uh,
Satisfied. Mm.
mm,
With
mm.
what we've been dealt with the cards that we have in our hands, and making the best of them, I would say that. Yeah.
Yes. So what you're saying, Smil, again, this is so beautiful. What I'm hearing and what you're saying is the realization that true happiness is not outside, it's inside of
Mm.
us. Second, what I'm hearing you say is true happiness is a state of our inner self. It's a state of our inner self which has nothing to do with the external situation, how our affairs are, situations are, how our relationships are, etc., etc. This is this this understanding that our happiness is inside of us, this understanding that we can be in a state of contentment, peace, irrespective of what the situation is um, is what we are pointing to as true happiness,
Mm.
not the fleeting happiness of
Mm.
an ice cream happiness, let's call it, of a good food like a biryani happiness, okay, where in the moment it's enjoyable, okay, you feel happy because it's a very commonly used word, happiness, isn't it? Okay,
Yeah.
commonly used, overly used, we could say. um, yeah, I got that promotion. I feel happy in the moment. Yes, I got a hike. I feel happy in the moment. I bought a new car. I got married. My son got is studying in so and so place, a dream place, okay, etc., etc. See all these fleeting emotions in the moment. We're not pointing
Mhm.
to that.
Mhm.
We are pointing to the divine design,
That's right.
how
Yes.
we are in a state is by default um, contented, calm, peaceful. Uh, that is how we are designed. That's the default state of our inner self in
Mhm.
its purest form, in its highest form. That's how we are created, like babies.
Mhm.
The babies are a great example, isn't it, Smitha? When they are not wet or when they're not hungry, they're in a state of bliss, joyful, happy, contented. Eh, yeah, they're just in that beautiful state of spreading joy and the state of curiosity. I have we have a new family member, a 4-month-old nephew of mine. Okay? He was here. He doesn't live here. He is in a different state. He was here for a few days, just a couple of days. When when I when I was watching him, Mr. Melvin, he was looking at me, just looking, just looking at me. Oh my goodness. He takes his time to look around, really
Mhm.
see, really. It's as if like he's taking information by just seeing me because he saw me for the first time. Okay?
Mhm.
He keeps seeing, he was seeing everything around, at the house. He was noticing. He was so beautiful. Okay. Like of course, like those. his it was very hot here, so he was not okay for some time. But when he was okay, when he
Mm.
wasn't hungry, he wasn't, the temperature was fine. We kept him in a comfortable uh, atmosphere, external atmosphere. We set it up for him. He All he did was first notice, really, really notice, and then engage. He was in a state of engaging in his own ways. Of course, he doesn't talk yet, so non-verbally he was engaging through eyes, through movement of his hands and legs, and those interesting sounds kids make, babies make. And then comes this laughter, Sister Melda, this laughter. Oh, the sound of that laughter is so calming. It just melts. I don't know what he's saying, but all I know is he is in a state of joy.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so that, to me, it seems like that is a great example of what we are pointing to. To me, there's nothing equivalent to that state, isn't it? That state of
Mhm.
being, if you're talking about. You don't want anything more than that. It just feels right.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Yes.
more to be added. Completely contented. Okay. Nowhere else to be. Nothing else to do. Not the next thing.
Yeah.
That, and not even wanting more. That just feels complete.
Yes.
Okay.
And these are great lessons, I think, for us. Like, you know, because that's where we are maybe losing our happiness, isn't it?
When we look in the
Right.
wrong place, like you began saying, when we look at it outside, isn't it? Which is the innocence, which we are conditioned. That's something we learn from our environment, that happiness comes from chocolate, from winning a match, when my mom is happy with me. Yeah. Which is why we get we get so, what's the word? It's unsettling
Mm.
because the situations are always moving. So the understanding that is coming from outside is messing up with the true understanding that it doesn't come. Hence, we are looking in the wrong place, like you beautifully said. So, so we are bringing this understanding that no, we will never find that outside. Never, ever,
Yes.
because it's not meant that way. The design doesn't work. The divine design doesn't work that way. The moment we stop looking, we start experiencing this, what we are pointing to, this inner
Mhm.
state. It starts to settle. The unsettling starts to settle. The opposite of inner peace starts to settle. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
What a beautiful design, isn't it? We don't need to do much for, because settling is, um it's natural. The mind
Yes.
settling is natural. By default, we can get into this state only if we don't interfere. We start looking again, that.
That's
So,
it. It's a letting go, isn't it? It's
mm,
not something you run after. It's more
mm,
letting it uh, do its thing.
mm.
I
And
want to say that.
as I'm talking to you, I can feel that people who are listening right now, it's about something we feel. We
Mm.
don't really need to understand it. That logical understanding doesn't help. It's something you can feel or not. That's
Mhm.
it. It's a feeling. It's not a feeling coming from a fleeting thought. It's a feeling of our inner state, our recognition of that inner self.
Mhm.
And we have that. That's it. We 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 get the understanding what we are pointing to, this truth-based understanding what we are pointing to. When we don't have that feeling, we try very hard. We try very hard to do happiness. We
Yeah.
engage in the doing of things, which in fact
Yes.
takes us away and away and away.
Yes.
Content.
Sometimes as well, I think there's also the unhappiness that we're trying to remove. If you are in grief or in uh, anger or in, these feelings, instead of trying to let go of them, we try to overcome them, being active with them. I don't know how to explain that any better than that. To reach that happiness, we're like, okay,
Yes.
you know, in, and it's more of a letting go. And again, even for anger, for example, you know, Islamically, it's the things you are recommended to do with anger, they're more of a letting go.
Mm.
It's not, it can come with some action, but for example, uh, it could be lying down is one of the advice
Mm.
that you could get if you're angry. I mean, it's just a state of not being active anymore,
Mm.
letting go,
Yes.
you know. And yeah, with these, I'm thinking of grief and also bitterness, this kind of thing. With it, maybe people who are listening may think, yeah, I have no idea how to let go of this, you know.
Yes. The whole idea is not to try hard to understand what we're pointing to, because what we're pointing to is something which is truth. Like I just said a moment back, it's a feeling we all recognize. You're either in the feeling or you're not. When we're
Yeah.
not in the feeling, it just means we are looking outside. Like somebody might be looking at happiness by listening to this talk. I'm going to feel happy. It doesn't work like that. It's we are we are pointing to that truth. So the more I slow down my mind, the way it seems to me is uh, when I'm doing less, when I'm thinking less, when I'm being more like that baby,
Mm,
when I am engaging more without thinking much,
mm,
I just slip into that space. It just happens.
mm,
There's no trying hard there. It just happens. From that place, doing becomes so beautiful, so enjoyable, so effortless. But that's a topic for another day. The quality of doing, that's a topic for another day. Today, the focus was on helping see everybody is looking for this, but we're looking in the wrong direction because of the conditioning. We are waking up to reconnecting with what we already know deep inside of us. Where we can really find it is a connection with ourselves and our creator. That's where we find it. State. It doesn't come from the doing. It doesn't come from the results. It doesn't come from, doesn't matter what quality of life we have. It doesn't matter. I might be, I might be okay by being angry right now. I might be feeling
mm,
peace in the anger. That anger
mm,
feels just right, and that's okay. I don't have to react. So, so that is what we are pointing to. This is not getting. This is about letting go, like you said. This is about uh, being. I would say this is about realizing, waking up. Different words pointing to the same thing. It's there. Doesn't go anywhere. It's here. Beautiful. I think that's a good place to pause. Is there anything else you want to add?
mm. No, I
Beautiful.
think we've
Okay.
said the
Okay. That feels right. That feels complete for now.